Now, there have been instances where people, try to conceive to get pregnant, and then at the end of the day, they are not able to, give birth. Why? Because of some issues that has been going on because they don't know their blood group. Okay. Now, this is one of the things that is eating up some people's life, and today we just have to just try to encourage people and then also acknowledge this particular problem so that we can be able to to see it, especially when you are a young woman or a growing adult. Okay. Now, we have types of blood group. Okay. Now, this blood group have a very serious consequences when it comes to one's life, especially when it comes to birth. Okay. Now, if you know that you are a negative blood type, okay, you are at risk for this particular problem of what of a frequent subsequent miscarriage. The reason being that, okay, now whenever you are Rh negative mother, meaning your blood type is either A negative, B negative, AB negative, or O negative. Okay. Now, any of these negative type of blood is very risky in terms of what pregnancy, and this is why some people after they give birth, okay, for their first child, the subsequent one becomes a problem. They get pregnant, and then during the time of growing up with the fetus, okay, the pregnancy destroy. This is eating a lot of people up, and today we are going to digest this particular problem. All right. So now we have something that we call Rh negative mother. Okay. So the whole thing is that whenever your blood type, okay, now let me just start with this one. You know, when it comes to blood, we have type of blood. We have A, we have B, we have AB, and then we have O. Okay. Now, this blood type is very important. Everybody might possess this blood type. Everyone, any of us can possess this blood type, but the most important one, okay, that we usually count, okay, on this particular blood type is what? The rhesus factor. Okay, so you somebody will just say A positive, A negative, AB positive, AB negative. Now, what is the impact of this positive and the negative? Now, this is where the problem comes. So, if, for instance, if you are a mother and then you are Rh negative, which means that you have a rhesus factor negative, okay, meaning your blood type is negative, like either A positive, either A negative or B negative or AB negative or O negative. This is a problem. You cannot receive a blood type from positive. Take note of this. You can't receive any blood that is positive. But if you are positive blood type, you can receive a negative blood. We'll find one day to talk about the blood type and the transfusion. So if you know that you are negative type, meaning you cannot take any blood, which is what? Positive. Reaction will take place. This same thing applies to pregnancy. Whenever you are pregnant, you are negative blood type, for instance, A negative, and then you are pregnant. Okay, you are pregnant to a baby, a child who is what? Positive, who has a blood type positive. This is where the problem comes in. So it means that once you are negative blood type, you cannot receive a positive blood type. So if by any mistake there is an exchange of blood between you and your child, that is when there is going to be an antibody. We call it sensitization, okay? And an antibody is going to be formed. Now, your first child might be okay, but the subsequent childbearing or pregnancy is going to what? Is going to be destroyed. You are going to have a frequent miscarriage. That's why some people give birth for their first child, and later on, they cannot give birth again. People are not being taught about this. And then, for instance, you are just a young growing adult, a teenager. Now you got pregnant, you went and aborted it. During the process of aborting, maybe there was an exchange of blood between you and then the baby. Meanwhile, you are negative blood type. What if your baby or the fetus was a positive blood type? Meaning you are going to have this particular reaction of blood. So what will happen is that in the next subsequent years, when you marry and then you want to give birth, remember the first child that you aborted was positive. Meanwhile, you are also negative blood type, and there was an antibody that was formed during the exchange of blood. So you try to conceive, and then there's a termination of the pregnancy. It happens several times. You can no more give birth. So if you are going young adult, be careful, especially when you are a negative blood type. This thing is destroying people's marriage. It destroying people's life. People are starving for pregnancy and they are not getting. These are some of the reasons. So whatever be the problem, there is a solution. There is a particular medication that is always given. If you are Rh negative or blood negative type, we have a medication that we call anti-D. Now, this is RHD immunoglobulin or ROGAM. So what happens is you are going to be injected with this medication right after the abortion, so that it will give you an immunity that will also try to protect the subsequent pregnancy for your childbearing. Another thing is that during cesarean section, during the cutting of the cord, if you are Rh negative, there is also going to be a problem. So anything, this is the solution. Anytime you know that you are Rh negative mother, and then you conceive, you get pregnant, please go and search for this particular medication in the hospital. At 28 weeks of gestation or pregnancy, you are supposed to be injected with this. Whether the baby is positive or negative, just inject it to protect you. And then if the child is giving, if the mother gives birth or the child is giving, is brought out, and then we realize the child is positive, within 3 days of birth, we are supposed to repeat the dosage of the ROGAM or the RHD immunoglobulin or the anti-D to protect you, okay, from the subsequent problem that is going to incur during pregnancy. So please, these are some of the reasons why some people get miscarriage all the time, because they don't know their blood type and then they think they are enjoying life and the end result is not good. Don't be a victim. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.